and I want people to sort of invest in me as an actor. The language barrier is being blurred, and I think more as we go forward, more and more content is going to become king. I personally have always believed that. So as long as you're putting out an emotion, a content that a larger audience is able to relate to, the actors, the language, everything sort of is led by the content. I think for any actor, or for me, I like just talking purely referring to me, when I read information about myself that is apart from my movies, and that information or that content is becoming the headlines, it does draw me down because I'm here to entertain. I want to entertain people with my work. That moment, of course, that noise is louder than the movies I do. It's unfortunate, but that's the way times are right now.
Hi, Jay. How are you?
Hi, Titas. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. And welcome to News 18 Showsha.
Thank you so much.
All right. To start off, this is your first Bollywood film, Laal Singh Chaddha. There's a whole lot of hype surrounding your debut performance. There's a lot of expectations. How are you taking it all in? What's your mind frame right now?
Well, it's good to hear from you, that there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of curiosity around it. You know,
Yeah.
I am I'm nervous and I am excited as well at the same time because I watched the film and I've watched how my part has come out. I'm really happy with the way it's sort of formed and come together. So I'm sort of waiting for that same reaction from the audience on the 11th of August. But yeah, it's nervous and it's excitement at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure like this was not the first Bollywood film that was offered to you, Chair. I'm sure there were others. I want to know what made you choose this script to be your first project here.
See, they have been I have discussed on a lot of films before, but
Yeah.
I was somewhere I was holding myself back, starting off, into Bollywood as the main lead. I was not sure how the acceptance would be. Uh, because I'm trying to penetrate into a market that's already got so many stars, that's got a huge bundle of talent, and the audience already owns these actors and stars whoever are present there right now. This enormous bundle of talent, but for me it was I was waiting for a transition point, a film where I could sort of be handheld and brought into the market. And fortunately for me in Lal Singh, I'm playing a South Indian in a North Indian atmosphere. I'm still
Right.
playing a Telugu boy, speaking Hindi, but broken a little bit here and there, bringing a few South Indian sort of traits. So this I was waiting for this in between kind of a role to happen, uh, and also being mentored by someone like Aamir sir. I think that's very
Right.
crucial, to be presented the right way when you're being presented, for the first time in a new market. You need to be presented for what your strengths are, and you need to be packaged well, all in all. So
Hmm.
I was waiting for this kind of an opportunity, actually, to be
Yeah.
honest with
Since you spoke about Amir Khan, he's known to be a hardcore perfectionist. Uh, is he also a hard taskmaster on the set?
I mean, he's very clear. He knows what he wants. Okay,
Yeah.
and what he wants is very clear. He communicates it very clearly. So it's our job to sort of deliver that. So until he gets that, he is a taskmaster. It's not like sometimes you're working with makers who want different things. Even they're experimenting and seeing how things look. Okay, let's go this way or let's go that way. But that's not the case with Amir sir. He's very clear. He knows what he wants from you. So that makes it very simple for us, to go back and work on that. It's very precise.
Hmm. It's been 13 years for you as an actor, and you have
Right.
already made a mark for yourself in the Telugu industry. Were you apprehensive about starting this journey in Bollywood, thinking that, I might have to start everything from the scratch?
No, I am looking at it like a journey that I'm starting from scratch,
Okay.
because I'm entering Bollywood where the people are still not too familiar with me. So they've
Right.
not yet sort of formed an impression on me. I'm not sure how many people would have watched, the South films that I've done. So there's still no image largely formed in everyone's mind about me, which I'm trying to use to my advantage.
Mhm.
So I can come in from a completely neutral space and form a fresh opinion with people.
Right.
That's something that I can do back home very easily, because here an image is already formed. They expect a certain kind of cinema, and when our faces are on a poster, they're already concluding in their mind,
Right.
okay, this is going to be this kind of a cinema from Chaitanya or whatever. But with Bollywood, that's not the case. They're coming in with a fresh take. They're open to
Yeah.
receiving whatever. So yeah, I'm using it to my advantage. I'm happy about that.
That's great. And Will, how was your father's reaction? Did he see the trailer of Lal Singh Chaddha? Did he see the rushes? Any
No,
inputs?
he's watched the film. In fact, Aamir sir
Okay.
had a screening for all of them
Oh yes. Right.
about 10 days back. He's watched the film. He really liked it. He's a huge fan of the original, and I remember what he came out saying is that, you walk in thinking it's a remake of Forrest Gump, but when you come out of it, you come out with a completely different perspective. And I was really happy that the film moved him that way, and he really enjoyed my character. And in fact, when I told him initially also that, Amir sir had reached out for this role for me
Yeah.
to do, he said, go do it. I mean, I remember him saying also, on Bollywood, you're entering a new market. You can explore yourself more as an actor. Use that, because the expectations are very different there. So use that to your advantage. And working with these people always helps you grow. So
Right.
that's what he had to say.
So, come September, he's also making his comeback to Bollywood, I think after 19 years. So, you're doing a Bollywood film, he's doing a Hindi film. Has there been a conversation at home about this?
I mean, it happened so organically, because when I started Laal Singh, there was not much talk of him doing Brahmastra. It happened eventually down the line. But yeah, I mean, we do share some conversations on how the working style and the working atmosphere is so
Right.
different over there. And, there are things we can take back, and the things we're observing a lot of things, so that are
Mhm.
different from the way it's done down south. End of the day, we're all creators, and every actor, every technician has a creative method which they like to work in. So it's always good to sort of reflect on how various people approach the art with different processes, and how we can sort of make few things our own, just pick and choose few things from everywhere and make them our own, and try and make our style out of it. So yeah, we used to have a lot of conversations on how films are shot in Bollywood, and just compare some notes on that.
But what's your takeaway? How is it different from the way films are made down south?
So, this is my first film that I'm working up north. So it's not like I've experienced too much. But this film, Amir Sir's set, is very, very different from how things are done down
Mm.
south. In terms of, one is, of course, he loves showing the film. He loves showing the product, taking opinions, having multiple screenings for different kinds of people. I think that's very crucial. I really enjoyed that process, and also the pre-production. I mean, he spends more time off the camera than on the camera. I feel, at least with me as an actor, the
Mhm.
amount of time he spent with me off the camera, about the lines, about the look. Even Adwait, the director. Uh, so this whole pre-production process gave me a lot of clarity as an actor. By the time I got in front of the camera, it
Mhm.
changed my whole process. It kept me a lot at ease. There were no doubts on set. Uh, Language, initially I was so scared about the language, like how my Hindi is going to turn out and all that. But
Yeah.
because I had this extensive prep time, it sort of totally wiped away that fear from me and gave me a lot of confidence.
Right. Uh, so the film did suffer some delays because we know the pandemic had, sort of hit us at that point of time. When a film takes, so long for it to come to fruition, how do you as an actor stay invested in the project for that long?
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic is something we've all gone through, yeah, in different ways. Everyone's been affected by it. Sorry, but for me as an actor, I think the excitement. I read the script. I love my character. I'm going to be working with Aamir sir, with Advait, people who I love, who I really look up to. So it's that excitement of wanting to do it, that keeps it alive within me. No matter however long the process is stretched out, you
Mm-hmm.
want to you want to work with these people, you want to see the finished product, you want to see the audience get excited by the film as much as you did, while listening to the script. So
Mm-hmm.
it's this whole process that keeps me engaged, especially when you're doing things you love. I personally believe however long the process takes, if you're doing something you love, you will not get detached from it.
Yeah, that's right. In the past few months, we have seen that a lot of South films have done extremely exceptionally well as far as pan India business is concerned. While that has given rise to this conversation about the whole North South divide, I'm not going to ask you about that. What I want to know from you is that do you think this, continual exchange between both the industries is giving rise to a more consolidated Indian cinema as a whole?
Yeah, I definitely see the boundaries in terms of language being blurred. People don't mind watching films with subtitles or dubbed now. They've sort of become familiar with it. Maybe the pandemic has fast tracked that, and technology has sort of given these films the exposure in terms of an OTT platform or YouTube.
Hmm.
Our films are getting showcased more. So yeah, the language barrier is being blurred, and I think more as we go forward, more and more content is going to become king. I personally have always believed that. So as long as you're putting out an emotion, a content that a larger audience is able to relate to,
Hmm.
the actors, the language, everything sort of is led by the content. So definitely we're going into a space where Indian cinema is going to become one. I think we are headed in that direction.
Right. So now that you're starting your journey in Bollywood, uh, is there a certain brand of cinema that you would want to be associated with? How do you want to be known as here?
I want to be known as an actor who is capable of attempting any genre. Honestly, I don't want to be branded in any specific kind of cinema. I'm here. I want to entertain. I want to get maximum exposure for my work, and I want people to sort of invest in me as an actor. So yeah, I'm open to anything. Yeah, I'm open to anything.
Yeah. Why now that I'm speaking to you, I have to tell you, Chair, that a lot of conversation about on social media about you is how good looking you are. And I would want to ask you, are you scared that the conversation surrounding you as an actor will only be limited or restricted to how good looking you are? Has that ever come in the way of a role for you, that oh my god, he's probably too polished for a certain role?
Yeah, so if that opinion is there about me on social media, I would definitely like to break it with obviously the work I do. I think for any actor, or for me, just talking purely referring to me, when I read information about myself that is apart from my movies, and that information or that content is becoming the headlines, it does draw me down because I'm here to entertain. I want to entertain people with my work, and with the films I do. That should be the forefront always. So I'm constantly thriving and I'm constantly working harder and harder for my films and my work as an actor to shine rather than rather than my life off screen. Well, if looks are working for people, yeah, I mean, it's an actor having good looks is always great, and I'm flattered. I'm thankful for that. But obviously, I don't want the looks to. I don't want them to say, yeah, he's just a good looking guy, but not a good
Yeah.
actor. That's that. I would rather say he's a good actor and a average looking guy. I rather have it the other way around. I want the acting to talk more than anything else for me.
Jay, we also have to speak about this very famous Telugu boys club that everyone talks about. A lot of your peers from that have forayed into Bollywood. They have made films here. Has there been any input from them as to how to navigate through this industry?
I don't know. I haven't been invited to any of these boys' clubs. So, but no, the only actor who's a common friend and also a cousin, Rana. who's in Bollywood films. He's probably the closest or the only person I'm close to in the film industry back at home. So yeah, we have had a couple of conversations on how things work over there and all that, and he's been really happy for me. And yeah, apart from that, very brief, not much, not much.
Yeah. And does it get difficult, Chair, to keep the conversation going about just your work with so many noise around you presently? It's been 13 years for you. Somewhere do you feel, with all the noise around, that work that you have done it's getting nullified?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's getting nullified, but yeah, in that moment, of course, that noise is louder than the movies I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, but that's the way times are right now, and that's the way some sections of the media decide to report, which is fine. I mean, everyone has their ways, but it's my responsibility and my duty as an actor to just keep working harder on my work, and
Yeah.
eventually that will shine one day. I mean, just stay positive about it, and it will shine, it will take over. It's everything's a phase, in we're also fortunate that in today's world anything can replace anything overnight, so
Yeah.
tomorrow the work can shine more than this, like that, August 11th things might work really well for me. I'm hoping people will accept me, and then they'll talk about the work more. So everything will come and go. This shouldn't get too affected by
Yes.
it.
Right, right. And coming back to Laal Singh Chaddha, it's a big budget film and there's a lot of hope and expectations pinned on the film. Do you feel the box office pressure?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, of course, in this case, Aamir sir is it's all riding on his shoulders. It's his
Yeah.
baby. He's from start to end. Advait and Aamir are carrying the most amount of pressure over here. But yes, I am nervous. It's a huge release. I think for me, it's a maximum exposure I'm going to get as an actor in terms of openings, purely because of the people I'm associated with in this film, and the span of the project. Uh, so I'm hoping it goes well. Yes, the nervousness is there, but it's also good nervousness. And uh, usually, when this kind of a span of a film, if it's accepted, there's nothing to stop it. It's a
Mhm.
tsunami all over. There's no stopping it. So yeah, I'm quite confident that we might just hit that.
All right. On that note, Jay, thank you so much. All the very best for Laal Singh Chaddha. I'm particularly looking forward to your performance.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.